It's me here, the great Shadkon, and we actually have myself or everyone else in general a money guide to GTA Online. As in current right now, it is Nightclub DLC, and I'm actually doing this for the very first time. My inspirator for doing this is actually a YouTuber I will put down in the link description below. But overall, I am actually very happy to say that I am glad to open up a brand new world of online possibilities and what you can expect from every single money making item that you can get off of Grand Theft Auto Online in general. But let's get started with the top 10 overall, or at least 8, whatever you think it is. Because there's crates, vehicle cargo, there's hangar, nightclub, bunker, and all the MC businesses. But we'll go on each and every single one from the starting date, which was crates. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so you're brand new to the game and you want to get something really good. Well, I would suggest actually going and get a CEO right away. The cheapest one you can get in terms of a building is 1 million, which is Maze Bank West. But for me, I have Arcadia's. It doesn't matter where your location is for it. It's just transportation ID for you, I guess. And right now, you primarily want to start off with crates because it's the cheapest option you have. Right now, it's on sale, or at least during this event that's going on for me and anyone else. And you can get the 16 crate. Now, I'm going to show you all the single player ideas, what you can do with anything with crates and up to it, and then we're going to work our way up to multiplayer bases. But for right now, we are going to work with single player, but for crates, they do work with multiplayer, the more items with more things you can do, etc. But I'm showing you how to do it, and we're going to do a mission real quick, and then it can be separated into either crates separately, or they can come together as a vehicle. So that's not too bad, but you will experience a little bit of latency just depending on how much weight there is. The max amount is 13 or 3 crates. You have to spend 18,000 per time, but in between you can do VIP work. So that way you can get more money and you can actually benefit off of it a little bit more extra than you would normally. So you just drive it over to your location, bam. So I'm just selling this off right now, and then we're going to get 32,000 out of it, but there's a total of 3 missions. There's the truck mission, there's the boat mission, and then there is the airplane mission. But the airplane mission either spawns at a Cuban or a Titan, depending on how many cargoes you have. But with me, it's just 3, so I'll just have to go to locations. There we go, 32,000. But the more crates you get, the more drivers you're going to need. The max amount is 3 cars for like the medium and large, but for small warehouse, it's only 2. Now for the next one. This one is honestly the best way to get money-wise solo, and it is actually the main moneymaker of anyone really. But you can divide it into whatever you want. But this is the vehicle warehouse. It's cheapest overall because I like my build is cheap, but you can do whatever you want it to be or over location. But that's up to you. Anyway, we have ourselves a vehicle location, and each of the cars are represented by a value. We have standard value, we have mid-range, and then we have high range. Standard range is like 35-ish, depending, but it's not really all that good. It's just okay. Then you have 62,000, which is for the mid-range, and that's actually pretty okay. And then you have 80,000. I mean, though it says 100 grand, you're getting 100 grand, but you already spent 20, so you're really only getting 80. So it's really thin. But you can get more vehicles so people can drive in it. But fair warning, you actually do need to have at least somebody outside your organization itself, so that way you don't, just go ahead and get blown up by NPCs shooting at you and you don't lose your money. But we have normal cars, and then we have collection cars. Collection cars are a little bit more harder to get because of RNG base. But what it is that if you get a certain amount of cars, you can actually get yourself more money because of collections themselves. And they'll actually work out of your benefits. Like if you want to get someone a 4-car collection, okay, there you go. You can give someone 200k. or you can get yourself 200k free as long as they're cooperative. But that's pretty much the main gist of Vehicle Warehouse. I'm not going to go ahead and do a job because all you do is just grab the car, drive it over, that's it. There's a few stipulations here and there, yeah, but it's not major by any means. But now, onto the nightclub. Now onto the nightclub. The nightclub right now is the latest one in terms of making business, but can you believe there's actually two sides to this? Because there's the popularity one, which is the above ground, and then you have your main one, which is for the underground. Unlike other businesses, though, this actually works alongside with CEO and Motorcycle Club, but that's onto later on. And then afterwards, we're going to do popularity. It depends on the various missions. Like, I'll do the beat up one, but I'll just do like a buzzer and it's like, okay, here you go, have fun, boop. As long as you don't kill his developers or destroy the cars, you should be fine. But this is just the whatever, and you can easily get like 70,000 inside the safe, but do bank it as soon as possible if you can for at least a 70,000, because if you don't, then it's actually going to go away. When it comes to the underground section, on the other hand, that's your main money-making method. However, there is one catch to it, and is that you actually do need other businesses outside of Nightclub in order to make it run actually smooth, and it actually takes up to 2 days worth of cargo shipments after you tend to develop, because it takes a while, and it's actually the best solo method in general if you want to get the best money. But this is highly controversial since business battles took over events, and everyone's trying to get the crates all together, but it just speeds up the process. That's all it really does. But really, at this point of the game, you really need to get anything you possibly can because we're getting so many new vehicles and such. But I would definitely say this is a best investment you can if you have other businesses, that is. But do not buy this firsthand unless you have anything that back it up. And then for how much you get, which is the max profit, it is 1.6 mil, so that's a really good chunk of change. I won't show a mission right here because my warehouse is currently moment. I've only done like a couple of sale missions with the special offers, which I can show here, but then you can sell all, but Tony takes away 10%, so that way you don't get raided for some reason. So that's a pretty cool plus, I guess, for actually having you be protected from whatever. So let's go on to the next one. Here we have the bunker, and I actually really enjoy the bunker myself. It's actually one of the better ideas to actually have a bunker because not only do you get Mark II weapons, but you get the MOC and all sorts of research. But here's the money making guide for the bunker itself. What you primarily want to do with at least the bunker is that you want to upgrade it as much as possible so that way you can get more money. Because if, let's say you're in Blaine County and you want to get the money itself all the way to Los Santos, you're getting 1.2 and vice versa. But as a friendly advice, do not get the bunker above where you get it for the criminal enterprise pack, but this avoid that one as much as possible if you can. Go for something like in the city or at least halfway through the desert or something, so that way you don't have to go all the way out of your way and say, oh, okay, here you go. Here I'm gonna do a mission just for you to see, okay, what do you have to do, etc. But they're generally trying to pick up an item, bring it back to the bunker. That's usually the gist of it. So similar to crates, I guess, but that's really it. And if you have a fully modified bunker, except for not staff, but for the likes of security, yeah, it's gonna help out overall if you have security. But if you have every single upgrade for it, it's gonna end up for 700 max for the max value, but 1.2 if you sell in the Los Santos. Okay, so let's go on to hangar. Here we have the hangar, and more likely people will recognize it as the place you can store airplanes and such. And while that is true, a lot of people don't know about the import stuff that you can do as well as a business, and it's not the best thing in the world, but it's definitely worth it if it's double money wise, and it's actually really great. But normally you get 870,000 for 4 crates, and we're actually going to do a mission here for it, but there's a total of 3 types of missions that you can do for airplane wise, but only do 3 types because anything above the normal like narcotics, chemicals, or medical supplies, since they're all the same value, will only decrease over time, but increase the difficulty if you're into that kind of thing. Count me wrong if you want to actually prove that wrong, but I think that is true overall. But there is one cool thing about Hangar that did transfer to Nightclub, is that you can actually destroy the vehicle itself, and the cargo itself will actually spread out into multiple pieces if you have more people inside your organization. But there is a few cons, there's a few pros, but there is one big issue, is that you need at least 4 people at least in order to get the max profit, as well as trying to get more crates. But that's usually the general gist of it. But overall, I would say pass, or you can get it if you want to get more money, but it's up to you. And now on to MC businesses, the main way of getting more people. Finally, we're on to MC, and this is actually the big one I was talking about the whole entire time. I kept on going up for MC, but here we are. But I'm going to show you the computer first and what business you can buy, but always buy cocaine first up, and always, because it gives you the most money, it can give you everything you need, and if you want to buy any more businesses, you can. This will give you a little less, but primary reason why you want an MC, so that way you can have more people in your organization. You can max amount of people you have is 8, so that's not a bad deal. But I'm actually going to go ahead and do a resupply mission here for weed, because, you know, I need it, and it's like, oh, okay. So here we are at weed itself, and we're actually going to go ahead and do the mission. It's usually as simple as drive a vehicle back to the warehouse, or you have to fly it in or whatever, and then just drop it off at the place. And usually it refills pretty decently. It depends on how many people you have in your organization as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But they all go down by different strats, because it's cocaine, meth, counterfeit, weed, then forgery. So let's go on to the big elephant in the room. Now, the big elephant in the room are, of course, the heists themselves. Now, you need multiple people in order to do these kind of things, but it really depends on what you need to do anyways with them. Like, for example, for the normal heist, you only need maybe 1 person to do Felicia's job, and then for the rest, you need to at least have 4 people. Well, that's perfectly fine if you have friends. If you're doing randoms, it's kind of hard to tell what they're going to do or not. That's really up in the air. But if you're doing, like, say, the Doomsday heist, on the other hand, yeah, it's not as paying as, let's say, the Pacific Standard, but you can at least do it with just only the 2 friends, or you can do it with more. But just keep in mind that if you do the Doomsday heist itself, that there will be glitches upon glitches that I've noticed from multiple people talking about, and it's just kind of there. Plus, the payout overall is not that really good, honestly. It depends on what you can do with it. But that is it. Everything is cleared up. I am good without the things. But I hope everyone enjoyed this money-making guide. And I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.